सजयति सिन्दूरवदनो देवो यत्पादपङ्कजस्मरणं वासरमणिरिव तमसां राशीन्नाशयति विघ्नानां पातु वो निकषग्रावा मतिहेम्नः सरस्वती प्राज्ञेतरपरिच्छेदं वचसैव करोति या. I welcome you all in the inaugural session of this 3-day national conference on Indian culture in art and literature, which is being organized by Shri Balmukunda Lohia Center of Sanskrit and Indological Studies of Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapeeth, Pune. I request the head of the department, Dr. Manjiri Bhalerao, to welcome and give introduction of the guests.
वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थ प्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वर. Good morning everyone. On behalf of Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapeeth's Shri Balamukunda Lohia Center of Sanskrit and Indological Studies, I welcome you all for the inaugural session of the 3-day national conference entitled Indian Culture in Art and Literature. As some of you are aware that you have come here in the campus of Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapeeth, which is an institution over 100 years old, and the department which is called as Shri Balamukunda Lohia Center of Sanskrit and Indological Studies is more than 75 years old. Here we have a legacy of organizing such intellectual feasts for the interested people, both scholars as well as students, who dwell in the field of research, teaching and learning about the Indological studies along with Sanskrit, archaeology and other subjects. Now this year we have organized this seminar called as Indian Culture in Art and Literature. But some of you might remember that last year we had organized an international seminar called as Scriptures and Sculptures Conveying Religious Ideas in Indian Art and Culture. So this has been our legacy for many years, and some of you also might remember the days of Professor Bhatt, who was our ex-head of the department. He is no more today, but he had organized a seminar with the name Sanskrit Sources of Indian History for 3 consecutive years. So this year, the title that we have given for the conference also has a potential to have consecutive seminars for many years to come. Even though many scholars, like one of the examples is Professor P.K. Gode, who has written 3 volumes at least on the history and culture that you see through literature, etc. That is Cultural History of India, which has been published by the Bhandarkar Institute. Still, we can see that there is a lot of potential to do research in the field of Indological studies, Indian culture, through the literature as well as art and other sources like archaeology, architecture and other linguistic studies also. So here today I am also going to tell you about little bit about our department. I see that most of the people present in the audience are our students, ex-students, current students, but still some of them are new also. So for them, I would like to tell you that our department is one of the oldest departments of the Vidyapeeth, which has been running courses, actually undergraduate and postgraduate degree programs in Sanskrit and postgraduate program in Indology for many years now. In 1975, the courses in Indology were started with the initiative of late Professor H.D. Sankalia, who, for the sake of the people living in the heart of the city and those who wanted to learn about archaeology in Marathi, so for those people, Professor Sankalia had taken an initiative, who many of you will know was from Deccan College. And then along with many contemporary teachers, he had designed this course, this syllabus, which initially was a diploma and later on the degree courses were started. Now I am also happy to tell you that along with these courses, these programs in Sanskrit as well as Indology, now we are going to start a new degree program, postgraduate degree program in Indian knowledge system, with the suggestion and blessings of our Honorable Chancellor, Vice Chancellor and Honorable Registrar who is present here today. They have encouraged us in fact to start this program, and in fact there are only 2 institutions in Pune who can actually run this course and one of them is ours. The other one is, of course, Deccan College, who has got the resources, of course, and the potential to run this program. So, from the coming academic year, we are going to start this program on Indian knowledge system. This is a 2 years postgraduate program which will be run in the offline mode and a hybrid mode, in fact. And then there will be only regular students. Regular mode is there, not for it's not for external students. And then those who are interested can join in. They can start inquiring about the program from the next week. That is why we have kept people on hold, because we have been busy in the organization of this seminar. Anyway, so thank you so much for an overwhelming response. You must have gone through the schedule as well as the book of abstracts, where you must have seen that more than 69 people have registered for the seminar participation. They have participated in the seminar. 13 of them are only invited people, but the rest of them have come to present their papers from different parts of the state and country also, because some of them are even from other states other than Maharashtra, and many of them are from other cities of Maharashtra also. So I hope that all of you will support us in the next year also. In the valedictory session, we are going to release the proceeding, the soft copy of the proceeding of the last year's international seminar, which you will see in the valedictory session. We will see. The book is still being processed, but basic part of it is ready. So you will see that in the valedictory session. And now I won't take much of your time, because Honorable Registrar Madam has to leave for another meeting. I would request Dr. Ambarish Khare to continue with the proceedings.
Thank you, ma'am. I request the faculty in the department, Dr. Akalpita Sapre, to introduce the dignitaries on the dais.
Namaste. It is my great pleasure to welcome and introduce our distinguished chairperson for today's event, Dr. Suvarna Sathe Madam. She is a highly accomplished professional with an academic background that includes a bachelor's degree in French, which showcases her linguistic and cultural expertise. In addition, she holds a master's degree in hotel management, demonstrating a strong foundation in hospitality and management. Currently, she serves as the registrar of Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapith. Here, she plays a key role in overseeing the administration and academic functions. It is a great honor to have Dr. Suvarna Sathe with us today. I kindly request our Dean Madam, Dr. Manjusha Gokhale, to extend a warm welcome to her. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce today's esteemed keynote speaker, Dr. Madhavi Kolhatkar. Dr. Kolhatkar holds a bachelor's degree in Sanskrit, Pali, and history, and has further enhanced her academic qualifications with a diploma in German and a certificate course in Russian. She went on to earn a master's degree in Sanskrit and Pali, followed by a PhD from Pune University, where her research focused on a ritualistic study of the Sautramani sacrifice. In addition to academic achievements, Dr. Kolhatkar has conducted postdoctoral research on Buddhism. She has an expertise by studying Japanese and Tibetan languages. Moreover, she is a distinguished Jyotisha Visharad also, with deep knowledge in the field of astronomy and astrology. Dr. Madhavi Kolhatkar has invited to participate in the project Study of Nishpanna Yogavali, undertaken by the National Museum of Ethnology, Osaka, Japan. Dr. Kolhatkar was also invited as a visiting scholar by the National Museum of Ethnology, Osaka, Japan. She was awarded a scholarship by the Education Ministry of Japan to conduct research in the Department of Indian Philosophy at Nagoya University, Japan. She has been recognized with prestigious awards, including the Indira Behere Puraskar conferred by Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapith and the Pandit Satavadekar Puraskar for her outstanding contributions to the field of Sanskrit. Dr. Kolhatkar has authored 11 books and published 94 research articles. She is a retired editor and honorary collaborator with the Sanskrit Dictionary Department at Deccan College, Pune. Currently, she continues to contribute significantly to the field through her research and scholarly endeavors. We are truly honored to have such an esteemed personality as our keynote speaker today. Dr. Madhavi Kolhatkar's remarkable achievements and contributions to the field of Sanskrit and related studies make her an invaluable source of knowledge and inspiration. I would like to formally request our esteemed registrar, Dr. Suvarna Sathe Madam, to extend a warm and gracious welcome to Dr. Madhavi Kolhatkar. It is my privilege to introduce our esteemed Dean of the Department, Dr. Manjusha Gokhale, a well-known Sanskrit scholar and authority on Alankara Shastra. Dr. Gokhale has made remarkable contributions to the field of Sanskrit studies. She is a gold medalist at both the BA and MA levels and holds a PhD from the University of Mumbai, where her dissertation focused on the Vakrokti concept and its evolution. Dr. Gokhale has served as an associate professor and head of the Sanskrit department at Ruia College, Mumbai. Currently, she holds the position of adjunct professor and dean of the faculty of Arts and Fine Arts at Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapit. We are fortunate to have her with us today. I now request our head of the department, Dr. Manjari Bhalera, to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Manjusha Gokhale.
Thank you, Dr. Kalpita. As you would know that our esteemed Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Geetali Tilak Madam, was about to preside over this session, but due to some inevitable administrative work, she has to change her plan today. But we are fortunate to have Dr. Suvarna Sathe with us, who has been here for this whole session, and she will give her remarks as well as the message from our Vice Chancellor for this inaugural function, and she will inaugurate our conference. I request Dr. Suvarna Sathe Madam to please come on the dais.
Thank you, Khare sir. Dignitaries on dais, Dr. Manjusha Gokhale, Dean, Dr. Manjari Bhalera, HOD, renowned scholar Kolhatkar Madam, respected scholars, distinguished delegates, and dear participants. A very warm welcome to all for this inaugural session of Sri Bal Mukunda Lohia Center of Sanskrit and Indological Studies 3-day National Conference on Indian Culture in Art and Literature, organized by Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapit. It is a memorable occasion for us all, and I am honored to extend my greetings to such an illustrious gathering. India, as we all know, is a land of vast diversity, rich heritage, and an unbroken legacy that spans thousands of years. Our cultural tapestry, woven intricately with art, literature, religion, and philosophy, remains one of the most enduring aspects of human civilization. This conference provides a unique platform for all research scholars and intellectuals to explore and reflect upon profound role that art and literature have played in shaping values, traditions, and beliefs of our society. At Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapit, we are deeply committed to preserving and promoting the rich traditions of Indian culture. As we gather over here for next 3 days, we will not only revisit the classical texts of Sanskrit, Prakrit, and Pali literature, but also explore the visual, architectural, and material expressions of our culture that have stood the test of time. From the ancient sculptures, paintings, and architecture to the epigraphs and every piece of art is a narrative and a story of societal value that prevailed in that era. Our Vidyapit, named after the visionary Lokmanya Tilak, has always been at the forefront of nurturing a profound understanding of India's rich culture and heritage. Lokmanya Tilak's ideology emphasized the empowerment of individual through knowledge and importance of education as a vehicle for social transformation. His views on national education, rooted in the belief that culture is the foundation of society, align perfectly with the goals of this conference.
Before independence, Lokmanya Tilak united the society under the banner of Shivaji Maharaj and Lord Ganesh to fight for our freedom. These were our cultural icons. In this context, this conference is a tribute to Lokmanya's vision. It is not merely an academic event, but a gathering that aims to bring together scholars who are dedicated to uncovering the hidden facets of Indian culture through rigorous research. The themes that we will explore during this conference, from ancient Indian art, architecture, and Sanskrit literature to Indian religions and philosophy, are all integral to understand the evolution of India's society's culture and intellectual fabric. I'm sure each one of you is eager to actively participate and engage in thoughtful discussions and share your insights and research findings. Let's strive to bring to light the fabric of our cultural heritage, which is though centuries old, still has much to teach us and generations to come. I would like to congratulate the team of Sri Balmukund Lohia Center of Sanskrit and Indological Studies for their efforts in making this event a success. I would also like to congratulate all the speakers, paper presenters, and delegates for their valuable contribution to this significant discourse. Let us all, through our collective efforts, work towards deepening our understanding of Indian art, literature, and culture as we continue to uphold the legacy and ideals of Lokmanya Tilak, whose commitment to national pride and cultural unity continues to inspire us today. With this, I declare this conference open and wish you all a fruitful and enriching experience at the conference. Thank you.
I thank Dr. Suvarna Sathe Madam, the Registrar of the Vidyapit, for inaugurating this conference and give us her best wishes and blessings, and also convey the message from our Honorable Vice Chancellor. Now I request Professor Madhavi Kolhatkar to deliver the keynote address.
अये राम ते नाम कं नाम लोकं पुनीते दुनीतेन पादोद्गतेव अथो राम नामाभिधं तीर्थरत्नं चिरं मेस्तु नाथेति याचे भवन्तम्. Friends, what is culture? Regarding it, I would like to quote Merrill and Eldridge. The classic definition of culture was given by E.B. Taylor. Subsequent definitions are, for the most part, refinements and paraphrases of his original statement that culture is that complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, art, morals, law, custom, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of society. This definition, he continues, includes, according to Merrill and Eldridge, such products of group life as folkways, technique ways, mores, and other group expectations. He further states, culture is a growing whole, acquiring new elements as it is handed down from one generation to the next and spreading to new groups of people. The history of culture is, on a real sense, the history of man as a human being. Culture is, concludes White, a symbolic, continuous, cumulative, and progressive process. Naturally then, the main source to know about the ideas or concepts in ancient culture is literature and history. A poet has rightly said, Vina Sanskritam Naiva Sanskriti. Equally true is its converse, Yatra Sanskritam Tatra Sanskriti. Therefore, when we study and read Sanskrit, especially the Vedas, the epics and the Puranas, we come to know about our cultural history, heritage, and also sometimes its unique cultural features. It will mainly be the Ramayana which is going to be studied in this regard. One important point should be remembered regarding Ramayana. and its composition itself is for the depiction of a person who is virtuous, valorous, knower of dharma, dharmajna, grateful, krutajna, truthful, firm on his vow, of good character, engaged in the welfare of all the beings, in short, having all the qualities of a noble person. Moreover, the text abounds with the words such as nyayataha, yathanyayam, yathavat, yathakalpam, yathavidhi, yathakalam, yathoktam, shastrataha, yathashastram, vidhanataha, vidhivat, vidhipurvam, shastradrushtena karmana, and similar others, which shows that everything, every action has a certain procedure, certain way of doing it, a certain ritual. Thus, the main principle in Ramayana, with a little variation, is avajñaya na kartavyam kinchit leelaya piva avajñaya krutam hanyat kartaram natra samshayah. The unique contribution of Ramayana is regarding the concept of obligations, runa. The three obligations, namely obligation to God, Deva Runa, to ancient sages, Rishi Runa, or sometimes also called Vipra Runa, and obligation to ancestors in Indian culture is well known. See how this idea of debt, that is obligation, is expressed in Ramayana. The context is the great king Dasharatha called Sri Rama and told him, "Tomorrow I am going to consecrate you as the future king. From then on, you will take care of the kingdom." Rama humbly requests his father, "You should continue to rule for a little while." To which Dasharatha responds, "Jatam ishtam apatyam me, tvam adya anupamam bhuvi, dattam ishtam adhitancha, maya purusha sattama, anubhutani cheshtani, maya veera sukhani cha, devarshi pitru vipranam, anrunosmi tatha atmanah." The gist of these verses is, I have got an unparalleled and desired son like you, and thereby have paid off the debts of my ancestors. I have finished my studies and given away gifts, and thereby have paid off the debts of the sages and the Brahmins. I have performed a ritual, and thereby have paid off the debts to gods. These are well-known ideas about obligations. But what Dasharatha says next is very unique. He further continues, "And O heroic man, I have enjoyed all the pleasures I wanted, and thereby have paid off the debt to my own self also." What a great idea it is! Obligation to one's own self. A man should enjoy all the pleasure he wants. He must fulfill his worldly desires. Of course, understood is that not transgressing the dharma. They should be best fulfilled with the feeling that it is his obligation. There is a saying, "Ishtam dharmena yojayat." Whatever you want people to follow, add it as a religious rule. Then it is followed mandatorily. Thus, when it has become an obligation to one's own self, one strives to fulfill his own desires and aspirations, which surely leads to prosperity and satisfaction. However, there is one more important benefit achieved through paying off one's own debt. The most severe and still most common vice of man is jealousy. That is why an important adjective for a good man keeps coming up frequently in ancient texts, and it is devoid of jealousy, anasuyaka. Even Ram was aware of the potential seriousness and harm of it. That is why, in the advice he gives to Sita on his way to exile, he says to her, "Bharatasya samipete naham kathyak kadachana, ruddhi yukta hi purusha na sahante parastavam, tasma nate guna kathya bharatasya agrato mama." That is, you should never praise me in the vicinity of Bharata. The prosperous man cannot tolerate others' praise. Hence, you should never praise my virtues in front of Bharata. Then, about Vastu Shastra. Ayodhya is a big city. It is no wonder that it is described in every detail, where it is found that certain rules must have strictly followed. But even to build a hut in the forest, there occurs certain prescribed ritual. Thus it is, after the three, that is Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, reach Chitrakuta, Sri Rama tells Lakshmana, Lakshmana, Anaya Daruni Drudhani cha Varani cha, Kurushva Avasatham Saumya, Vase me Bhiratam Manaha. Lakshmana, bring strong and best logs of wood. We will make a dwelling place here. I would like to stay here. Listening to it, Lakshmana brings logs of various kinds of trees and prepares a hut. Then Sri Rama tells him to bring the flesh of a black antelope to give offerings to the hut. Mausam arutya shalam yakshamahe vayam. Here I would like to make a remark regarding interpolations in the epics. Interpolation can be said to be the first commentary on the epics. Here, as to make the purpose known to the reader, a line is interpolated, Kartavyam Vastu Shamanam Saumitram Chirajivibhi, Saumitre Chirajivibhi, which tells us that by that offering, the evil from the Vastu is to be driven away. It is pacified and made fit to living. Lakshmana then kills a black antelope and throws its flesh in the fully ablaze fire. When it is properly cooked, he informs Rama, Ayam Krishna Samaptangaha, Ayam Krishna Samaptangaha, Shrutaha Krishnam Rugo Maya, Devatam Deva Sankasha, Yajasva Kushalo Yasi. The necessary parts of the black deer are obtained and cooked by me. Now, O you, who looks like a god, give offerings to the deity. You are quite skilled in it. Then Sri Rama, who is expert in uttering mantras, takes bath, takes some vows, and gives the pacificatory offerings. Then only all of them enter the hut, which is nicely thatched with foliage. An important aspect of culture is about the belief in God, existence of God, and then the temples and worship. All the three are present in the Ramayana. It is seen in Ramayana for that special efforts, tapas, are made for everything. Things are not taken lightly, not lilaya. It is by tapas that they make themselves worthy of whatever comes to their lot, and sees that she, wearing silken garments, is already in the temple. Devatagara is the word there, restraining speech and praying for auspiciousness for the event. Having heard the news of the consecration, holding her breath and having her eyes closed, she is meditating on Janardana. Paying homage to her, Rama leaves her quarters and goes to his own palace. Dasharatha sends his family priest Vasishtha to him to advise him to keep a vow and observe it together with his wife. Accordingly, the sage comes to Rama's palace and tells him, Upavasam bhavanadya karotu sahasitaya. You please observe fast today together with Sita. Not only he tells him, but also utters proper mantras and initiates Sri Rama in the vow together with Sita. The house of Rama was in rejoicing mood. Moreover, the people on the streets also were rejoicing. After the priest leaves, Sri Rama takes bath, keeps vow, and with his beautiful wife goes to Narayana, that is the temple of Narayana. He raises the pot of oblation near his head and then gives offerings in the blazing fire to that great god. He partakes the remnant of the oblation and sitting on the seat of grass meditates on God Narayana. On that night, he sleeps in the temple of Vishnu. Getting up early in the morning, he gets the house decorated and gives the morning offerings. Then, wearing silk garments and going down to Madhusudana, he sings the praise of God and also makes the Brahmins sing praises. All the inhabitants of Ayodhya are happy to learn that Sri Rama is observing a vow together with Sita. Then there are jubilations all over Ayodhya. There is one more reference to gods and temples. After the marriage of Rama and Sita and of his brothers in Janaka's kingdom, all of them come back to Ayodhya and the new brides are welcomed by the queens. The queens were not present for the marriage. Then all those beautiful daughters-in-law wearing silk garments and greeted with auspicious blessings go immediately to the temples and worship the deities there. Mangala lambhanaish chapi shobhita kshaumavasasaha devata yatananyashu sarvastaha pratyapujayan. These are the references of the temples in the palaces. However, there are some verses which refer to those in the city as well. Sitabhra shikharabheshu devata yataneshu cha dhvaja samuchritas chitraha patakascha abhavanstada. That is, there were beautiful banners of various colors and flags were hoisted on the temples having their shikhara like white clouds. While thinking about any culture or religion, it is important to consider the place of woman in the society. I would like to start the topic with a passage important in this regard. After receiving the message of the minister, Bharata immediately comes back to Ayodhya from his maternal uncle's place and goes to his father's palace first. When he cannot see him there, he goes to his mother's palace. His mother Kaikeyi almost jumps from her golden seat with joy when she sees him coming. Bharata holds her feet. Kaikeyi asks about him fondly, asks how the journey was, and also inquires about her maternal family. Bharata says, money, gems, gifts, etc. will be reaching soon. Since the messengers told me to hurry on my way, I rushed ahead. Now tell me, mother, where is my father? He is not in his own palace. He used to be mostly in your palace, but I cannot see him here also. Tell me immediately where he is. I want to get to his feet. Or is he in Mother Kausalya's palace? Imagine, friends, seeing Kaikeyi, Bharata gets no idea that King Dasharatha is no more in this world. This means that there is no change whatsoever in Kaikeyi's outward appearance. Her face, clothes, jewelry, nothing is slightly changed, slightestly changed. Isn't it surprising? Well, suppose that Kaikeyi was a bit different, might have been a little different, not traditional maybe. But after hearing Bharata's voice, Kausalya and Sumitra also come to meet Bharata, who also show no sign of change in appearance. Bharata does not have any slightest doubts about the mishap in the family. In the case of Kausalya, only change mentioned is she is pale, Vivarna, and her clothes are soiled. She is Malinambara. So it seems that at least in the times of Ramayana, there were no restrictions forced on widows. When might it have come into practice then? Is it because of the constant invasions from the 12th-13th century onwards and abuse of Hindu women by invaders? There occurs a story in Ramayana that Kushanabha, there are different types of women in one story. The Kushanabha, the son of Kusha and his wife Ghrutachi, gave birth to 100 best daughters. They were very beautiful, young and well ornamented, and were rejoicing in a garden. Vayu came there and asked them to marry him. They rejected the offer and told him that they could make him fall from his position, but they are guarding their tapas and do not want to waste it. They told him to ask their father for their hand, since he was their master and also the supreme deity. The one whom he will choose to marry them will be their husband. Listening to it, Vayu became very angry and entering them made them crooked. Seeing them in such condition, and after coming to know what had happened, Kusha praised his obedient daughters and discussed about their marriage with the ministers. After reading this, one forms the impression that the daughters were very obedient at that time and followed their father's decision. But suddenly, there is a twist in the narration. The author starts telling another story in the immediately succeeding verse. Thus it is, at the same time, there was a great sage called Chulin who was practicing asceticism. A Gandharvi called Somada, daughter of Urmila, was serving him with much respect. The sage became pleased with her, told her so, and told to ask anything she wanted from him. She said to him, I do not have husband, and I am not wife of anybody. I want a religious son from you, endowed with Brahma tapas. Tasyaha prasanno brahmarshir dadau putram anuttamam brahmadatta iti khyatam manasam chulinas sutam. The sage, pleased with her, gave his own best mind-bought son to her. Thus it can be said that as in any other society, in Ramayana also exists variety of women and of human being at a given time. Now the reference to Sri Rama and Sita. There is one more important point which should be mentioned here. When Rama, Lakshmana and Sita came to live in Dandakaranya, there appeared a carnivorous, huge man talking very loudly and looking like a towering mountain peak. He was a demon named Viradha. Seeing the three of them, he ran towards them, took Sita in his lap and said, Oh, you are ascetics. How can you live with a woman? I will fight with you both, drink your blood, and this beautiful woman will be my wife. Hearing this, Sita started trembling with fear. Sri Rama's throat dried up, and he said to Lakshmana, Parasparshat tu Vaideya, natu dukkhataram asti me. Pitur vinashat saumitre, swarajya haranat tatha. There is nothing more painful to me, O Lakshmana, not even father's death or the loss of kingdom, than a stranger touching Sita. At that time, Lakshmana boosted his courage, saying, Oh, you yourself are the refuge of beings like Indra himself, and why do you grieve when I am your servant? Then Rama and Viradha had a fight, and Sri Rama killed the demon with his sharp arrows. Having killed the demon, Rama embraced Sita and consoled her. This seems to be a very befitting way to Purushottama Rama. The problem is then, why his behavior is different when he brings her back from Ravana. It seems that the relevant text should be minutely checked again. An important feature regarding woman, Rajya Shulka. In Ramayana comes a reference that Rama tells Bharata that before marrying Kaikeyi, Dasharatha promised Kaikeyi's father that he would grant Anuttama Rajya Shulka for Kaikeyi. Now, what is the possible meaning of the word? The question arises since an American scholar, Sheldon Pollock, has completely misunderstood the word and has misinterpreted it, causing harm to the epic and the characters in it. The word literally means the kingdom as the prize. However, kingdom does not mean here the actual kingdom or a part of the land of the kingdom. It is not possible. The kingdom must remain united and the king the sovereign. The word can be explained as the revenue of the portion of the part of the kingdom allotted to the would-be bride as bride wealth. Even after marriage, the queen will have that revenue as her own right and will be entitled to have the income coming from it as her own purse. She will have the right to spend it the way she wants. Neither the king nor anybody else would have any right on it. Now the question is, what is the proof for this? In the Ramayana itself, we find evidence to this in the Ayodhya Kanda. When Rama is about to leave for forest, Lakshmana also wants to follow him. At that time, Rama explains to him how he should stay in Ayodhya and take care of his father and his mother. To that, Lakshmana replies, "No doubt Bharata will take care of Kausalya and Sumitra, remembering your brilliance or strength." Then in the following verse, which is very important in the present context, he says, "Kausalya Mata can support thousands of people like me because she has got 1,000 villages to support her." It means she gets the income from 1,000 villages. From that, she can definitely support herself. This is a noteworthy, unique feature of Indian culture. The practice has been seen continued even in modern times when it is mentioned as "for sadi choli" in Marathi. Now there is no problem to say that Sri Rama is telling Bharata that our father has promised your grandfather, Anuttama Rajya Shulka, that is a lavish amount as bride wealth for your mother Kaikeyi. Coming to material culture, we find the reference to Yantraka or Yantrakovida. There are some verses which have these words, but from those it does not become clear what sort of yantra there might have been. But there occurs some description before which suggests some kind of machine having geared wheels. Thus it is, when Sri Rama left the palace for exile, King Dasharatha also followed him together with his wives. All of them were in pitiable condition, dragging themselves to have the last glimpses of their son. The king was requesting Sumantra to take the chariot slowly so that he can see Sri Rama more and more. However, it was very difficult for Sri Rama to see the pitiable condition of his parents. He therefore told Sumantra to increase the speed of the horses to go out of the city as fast as possible. At that time, the expression is used, "Tishtheti Raja Chukrosha, Yahi Yahiti Raghavaha, Sumantrasya Babhuvatma, Chakrayoriva Chantara." That is, the king was crying, "Stop!" And Raghava was saying, "Go, go!" Sumantra found himself as if being between two wheels. Here, Sumantra cannot be between the two wheels running parallel to each other, like those of a cart or a chariot. It suggests that he was as if caught between the two wheels moving against each other, squeezing the object caught between them. Something like the wheels or two drums, one moving in clockwise direction and the other in the anti-clockwise, which can crush even the sugarcane to get juice. It was Sri Rama then who made Sumantra free, telling him, "If the king asks you afterwards why you did not obey him and go slowly, tell him that you could not hear what he had said." Listening to this, Sumantra immediately speeded the horses, even though they were already running in full speed. This reference clearly indicates the use of gears and hence of lever also was known to the Ramayana times, in Ramayana times. Another such reference is to arms and missiles. It has been observed in Ramayana that even though Ayodhya is said to be fortified from all sides, is really unconquerable, as its name suggests, has moats and other devices for protection, much precaution is taken to maintain its security. The army is always kept ready. Similarly, Vishwamitra also, while going to the forest, flanked by Rama and Lakshmana, the most powerful warriors on both his sides, accompanying him for guarding his sacrifice, gives Rama some additional weapons or missiles. He tells Rama that being very much pleased with him, he is going to give them, by which he can bring all his enemies under control. Then one by one he goes on enumerating those: Danda Chakra, Kala Chakra, Vishnu Chakra, Vajra, Brahmashiras, and so on. He then asks him to accept them immediately. Then, together with those, he passed on to Rama the relevant mantras also. While doing so, he was following proper ritual. Entering the sacred plain, facing east, the great sage offered those to Rama. When the sage was uttering the mantras, the valuable astras, one by one, appeared there near Rama at his service. Rama accepted them and said and told them to be stable in his mind. Manasame bhavishyadvam, he said to them. It means Rama carefully memorized all those mantras to be able to retrieve them whenever necessary. Rama then asked the sage to teach how to take back the astras also. The sage did so. All those weapons were present with folded hands before Rama to take his orders. When Rama said to them, what Rama said to them at that time is very important. Gamyatam iti tanaha yatheshtam raghunandanaha manasa karya kaleshu sahayam me karishyata. You can go now, but in my mind, but be in my mind, and whenever necessary, help me. It means he committed them to memory so that they will easily be accessible when need arises. Memorization actually was an important feature and asset of the Indian society. Unfortunately, now, due to some wrong imitation, we are not paying attention to it and losing it. It is time to increase the power of memory again. This is not the only occasion when Rama is bestowed with weapons. On his way to Vishwamitra's hermitage, they come across many sages who bestow important weapons and missiles to him, which highlights the importance of continuous vigil and alertness, though apparently the country might seem to have friendly relations with neighbors. What is important is that after getting the mantras for using the missiles, Ram asks for their samhara, the calling back of those weapons, since he did not want any unnecessary use of the missiles. He says to Vishwamitra, Gruhit astrosmi bhagavan duradharshaha surairapi astranam tuham ichchami samharam muni pungava. Missiles often have self-destruct mechanisms like timed fuses or automatic systems to prevent unintended damage if they miss their target or become uncontrollable, ensuring they don't continue on their trajectory indefinitely. Does this reference point to such device present at that time? Now about the etiquettes, which is called Lokacharitra. Etiquette is a very important feature of any culture. It is the forms, manners, and ceremonies established by convention as acceptable or required in social relations, in a profession, or in official life. Etiquettes make people comfortable and at ease. It shows that they value and respect each other. Etiquettes promote kindness, consideration, and humility as well. More the number of etiquettes in society, smoother the transactions and relations between the persons. Moreover, it releases the tension in difficult times. Many such etiquettes are found observed in the Ramayana. Some important ones will be noted here. While leaving for forest, Sri Rama, along with Dasharatha, Kausalya and others, bids farewell to his other 300 mothers as well. At that time, he approaches them with folded hands and says, if there was any rudeness on my part due to ignorance while we were living together, please forgive me. I say goodbye to you all. Now. There is another notable passage. The first line of the verse reads, Vishalan Kosalan Ramyan Yatva Lakshmana Purvajaha. The elder brother of Lakshmana crossed the picturesque and long spread Kosala region. It is then followed by a few lines which are again interpolated, but are very important from a historical and cultural point of view and hence are quoted here. Ayodhya Bhimukho Dhiman Pranjalir Vakyam Abravit आपृच्छे त्वां पुरीश्रेष्ठे काकुत्स्थ परिपालिते दैवतानि च यानि त्वां पालयन्ति आवसन्ति च निवृत्तवनवासस्त्वां अनृणो जगतीपतेः पुनर्द्रक्ष्यामि मात्रा च पित्रा च सह संगतः. The meaning is, then Sri Ram stood facing Ayodhya and said with folded hands, I bid farewell to you, O great city protected by Kakutsthas, and the gods who guard you and dwell in you. I will see you again with my parents. I have ended my exile and repaid the obligation of the great king, date of the great king. Here I am reminded of a practice in Japan. At the end of the day's work, the employees said goodbye to the workplace by looking back once again and bowing down to the workplace as they leave the workplace for the day. Even the drivers of the trains, after getting down, make sure that the train is parked properly, then bow down to it and then leave. There is reason why I am mentioning this practice. There is a book called Sankuk Yusa, written in 13th century, that tells the history of Korea. According to it, the queen of Korea, named Heo Hwangok or Boju, is originally from India, and that too from Ayodhya. She was born in 32 CE and died in 189 CE. She came to Korea from Ayodhya when she was 16 years old and became the queen of King Suro. Many other Indians went with her to Korea and also the Indian culture, which further spread in other Far Eastern countries also. Thus, she might have been instrumental in the great influence of Indian culture on Japanese culture. The government of India also has taken note of this, has released a postage stamp in memory of the Queen in 2019. Recently, in 2020, a memorial building also has been erected in the city of Ayodhya. She may have been the reason for the introduction of this practice. There is one more expression, Bhadrante, which means may there be good for you, and which is used in various contexts, meaning take care, don't worry, well, good night, and many others. It is similar to the present day expression we use, Acha. When Bharata went to say goodbye to his maternal grandfather, he was greeted with love, and so many presents were sent with him, not only for family members, but also for the ministers, etc. On his way back home, Bharata collects the water of the river as tirtha, sacred water, to take home. After getting the message of the minister, Bharata rushed back to Ayodhya. He was very much worried due to so many ill omens on his way back. Still, when he was greeted by the doorkeepers of the Vaijayanta gate, he does not forget to greet them back, Pratyabhivadana, which rarely is observed these days. Satu anekagra hridayah dwastham pratyarchatam janam sutam ashwapatet klantam abravit tatra raghava. All these traditions are seen being carried out in the society, at least for last some 1,000 years. It shows how the literature can influence the society and culture and vice versa. Bhadrante.
Thank Professor Madhavi Kolhatkar for this wonderful keynote speech, which has now paved the way for the further paper reading sessions in the conference. And I liked your means the food for thought which you have provided by saying that interpolation is the first commentary. So that is the yes, so that is the important point, and we will definitely look into it with this new aspect as well. Now I request Dean of Faculty of Arts and Fine Arts, Professor Manjusha Gokhale, to present the vote of thanks.
Namo Namaha. I am here to present vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude towards our keynote speaker, Dr. Madhavi Kolhatkar. She put forth the exact meaning of the term culture. Then she explained very well the unique contribution of Ramayana
to Indian culture by throwing light on various topics or aspects of culture such as Runa, Vastu Shuddhi, Deva Puja, Upavasa, Rajya Shulka, Stridhana, and so on. She emphasized social etiquettes or social conduct, which are very relevant even today also. I express my gratitude for our Chancellor, Dr. Deepak Tilak, who stands rock still behind us in all our endeavors. I am thankful to our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Geetali Tilak, for her inspiring message and her support. I thank you all the august audience present here and going to participate in this 3-day seminar. I thank our non-teaching support staff also. Without them, no seminar will come to an successful end. So thank you everybody. Thanks.